2026. I know it's still kind of weird to say it, but as we head into the new year, I know something all parents and kids are thinking, how do we get better this year? Well, more ice time sounds great, but between school, family time, and just being a kid, it's not always realistic, right? So, what really helps young players grow is hockey IQ, learning how to read the game, make confident decisions, and understand why things happen on the ice. And that's where our title sponsor, NHL Sense Arena, continues to come through. Sense Arena uses VR and mixed reality training to help players work on the mental side of hockey. It gives kids meaningful reps, helping them build confidence, awareness, and strong habits at their own pace. So for skaters, that means better reads and puck control, and for goalies, faster reactions and improved tracking. And for coaches and parents, it means purposeful development that supports what's being taught at the rink. So to get started with our special offer, visit sensearena.com/OKPH and use the code OKPH to save an extra $25 off an annual plan or headset bundle if you need one. Once again, that's sensearena.com/OKPH. Use the code OKPH. Get yourself that discount. That's 50% off the standard monthly cost, plus an additional $25 when you use the code OKPH. Welcome to 2026. Let's get you into this episode right now. Hello, hockey skaters and goalies around the world. Welcome back to another edition of the Ride to the Rink. We've got someone sitting with us here today that every single one of you knows. And if you have not seen the title of this episode, Who's Here, you might squeal a little bit in the car when I say the name, because the name is Pavel Barber. Pavel Barber I'm looking at him right now. He's sitting here. He's looking at us. I'm with Mike Christie and Pavel Barber. We're very excited to have him here today to talk to you kids, because we know he is who you want to hear from, right? And what we're going to talk about today, from someone who you all know is one of the most skilled puck control experts in the world, is what we can improve on in our game. So Pavel, I'm going to give the mic to you, the audience to you. Talk to the kids a little bit about what you'd like to see them working on in their game and how they can get better as hockey players every day.
Yeah, I think just the basics of being able to, control the puck with the head up, keep the puck off the body in a position where you have multiple options. We talk about deception all the time. Deception comes from the amount of options you have from the position you are handling that puck from, and then your awareness of those options as well. So I think that's the biggest thing fundamentally. But like from a hockey standpoint, definitely the skating, the edge work. That's number one. It's going to take precedent over anything you do with your hands. It's going to be way more important than shooting as well. Just your ability to do all the necessary edge work and skating, be efficient with your stride, directional changes. If you watch an NHL game, count how many times they change direction, and you'll find the importance of how important it is to be able to change direction efficiently and deceptively. So definitely those are the most important things.
But Pavel, I want to do tricks just like you. How long is it going to take me to do that?
Yeah. Oh man, the trick shots will take forever. It's a lot of failures go into that, and they're fun to do. But yeah, they take, certain ones aren't as hard, but some of them take. If you're relying on the puck to bounce off the ice and catch them, whatever, there's going to be hundreds of failures before you learn how to do that. Same process of learning other skills, but just. Yeah, way more time consuming, not as important to practice, but super, super fun. Definitely recommend it.
Can you talk a little bit about, so our players are listening, right? And they're thinking about, I want to do those tricks. I want to do these plays. I want to get better, even at the simplest parts of the game. Can you just talk to the players a little bit about like how do you talk to your own ego? Like, how do you manage the side of, hey, I want to get better, but I got to be on the edge, but I have to be willing to try things that might be embarrassing, that are going to look really bad, but eventually I'm going to get to where I want to get to.
Yeah, there's a great book called The Talent Code written by Daniel Coyle. I had the opportunity to actually interview him, and he always talked about what you were saying there, the edge of your abilities. So what you can currently do, and you're pushing a little bit past that, what that's going to do is it's going to force you to fail a lot more. But when you do fail, you're just at the edge of your abilities, so you do retain some feedback because you're going at the pace where your brain is actually involved and it can actually understand where you're going right and wrong. So I think managing your ego is telling your ego that failure is my friend, failure is necessary. If I'm not failing, I'm not getting better. Like, just grill that into your head. Like, if you are just staying in your comfort zone, you are staying at that same level. If you're trying to improve, you have to fail. It's not just, whether or not you can fail. It's not really a choice. You have to really reach beyond what you can currently do, force yourself out of that comfort zone, fail, get back up, try and pick up the puzzle pieces and try to put them back together. And that's the fastest way to get better.
On our big episode this week, Pavel, which kids, I'm actually going to recommend that if you have the time, you listen to everything he says. But we talked about the mix, right? The mix of discipline and passion and skills and joy and all the things. The patience was a big one, about what it takes to be better. I think kids, just from, observing a lot of practices and games, I know you feel like adults sometimes are telling you, don't do a Michigan or don't do a toe drag, right? And I think what we're trying to say to you is that there's a time and a place, right? So, Paul, this is kind of a two-part question for you, right? One is talk about that time and place for the advanced skill moves. And I got to remind you, kids, this is one of the greatest puck handlers on the planet telling you that skating is the most important skill in ice hockey. Don't miss that. All right. But, Pavel, can you talk about the patience it takes and how kids need to have that patience to grow? And then also application, right? About once you've developed these amazing skills, kids, which we want you to do, there's a time and a place.
Yeah, for sure. So acquisition is like, how do we physically do the move? That's where you're building those skill circuits in your brain, where you're actually learning how to move your body and control that puck, and you're skating, all that stuff. You do have to be very slow and methodical with that. There's no way to rush that process. A good measuring stick is your retention. So how much you're able to get feedback from what you are doing. If you are understanding where you're going right and wrong and failing, you're at a good spot. You're at the edge of your abilities. But if you don't know where you're going right or wrong and you're not getting much feedback, you're probably going a little too fast. And I know that's going to seem like it's a shortcut. It's not. If you're not getting feedback, retention from what you're doing, you're not getting better. We're kind of flying blind in that respect. So go slow, go methodical, just be aware of everything you're doing, whether it's right or wrong. And then, from the application side, shifting from acquisition, now we're in game. We're trying to think, I have this skill. I'm pretty consistent within it. How do I apply it? You've got to know, how to read a defender. You've got to know how much gap you have. If you have a speed advantage, speed advantage situations, you actually don't want to get within poke check range because you have the advantage. Don't give them access to the puck, versus moments where we're coming off the wall. We have, them right on our hip. We've got to be able to shake them, right? We've got to be able to use a different set of moves in that situation. So obviously there are times for toe drags and pullbacks and backhand toe drags and things like that. You just have to know what those times are and what specifically you want the defender to do. So, if they've turned their feet already, you can use that toe drag immediately. If they haven't, you can make a fake to force them to turn their feet to create that advantage as well. And same with other moves. So really try and just, approach everything where you're looking at a defender and you're trying to figure out where their weight is shifted, gap control, speed advantage, whatever. And go through it. And you're going to go through a set of moves. Some are going to work, some are going to not. But them not working is a good thing. You'll learn from it. Maybe you did the move too late. Maybe you made it too obvious, or maybe it just wasn't the right situation for it. That's the trial and error process that's going to make you better.
I got to ask this one more, man, for the kids listening. Pavel, you inspire so many kids to dream through your videos, through your being an international athlete in multiple sports for Team Canada. There's a kid listening to this right now. Their dream is to do it, right? To go all the way. They got a big dream. What is your message to that kid?
Yeah, don't look at percentage likelihood of you making it, or you're going to not even want to try. It's very low, but I tell kids that's irrelevant. It really means nothing. The percentage likelihood, what matters is the effort, focus, and work you put in. Don't think about expectations, whether it's mom, dad, coach, brother, sister, or whatever. Don't think what other people expect of you is relevant. That's irrelevant too. What's relevant is the effort you put in, the focus you put in, and your ability to let the ego go and push yourself to failure. As long as you do those things, you're going to be getting better at whatever rate you're getting at. It's going to happen slowly for everybody. But just try to rid yourself of the expectations of everything. Enjoy what you do along the process. Is going to be very frustrating parts, especially when you want the goal badly. That frustration will build more, and just allow that frustration to be fuel instead of a deterrent. Let it fuel you to get a little bit more focused, put in a little bit more effort, and to try and get that result. But I think expectations, get rid of them entirely.
Incredible stuff, my friend. I can't thank you enough for being here today and giving us some time. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course, man. My pleasure.
All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Ride to the Rink. Kids, what a treat, right? For Christy Cash, Anna Burns, and Mike Benelli, and Pavel Barber, I'm Lee Elias. Kids, remember, no matter where you're at on your hockey journey, we believe in you. You should too. Have fun, work hard. We'll see you on the next Ride to the Rink. Take care, everybody.